You know that there's a major star in the building when you ask for a piece of toast in a commercial break and it doesn't come. And you ask again and it still doesn't come because the kitchen staff are looking after...
your toast.
They're looking after the star, and quite rightly. Singer, presenter, dancer and drag race royalty Michelle Visage. You're going to feature as a special guest at RuPaul's DragCon this weekend with over 170 queens taking part, and that's going to make it the biggest lineup in drag history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And you are back on the judging panel of the latest series of RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, you're known as the Queen of Mean.
Am I?
Apparently so.
OK.
I want to talk to you first about you're the queen of this grey streak, which is absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And you completely own it. But, of course, you're not all grey all over.
Technically, I am. I just dye the rest black.
Is this natural, the grey here, or do you get it... Look, I'm a woman of a certain age, and I think many women in their 50s wonder if it is time to embrace a silver fox look. Seems to work for men, doesn't it? No judgment.
Right.
Do you get comments on the grey streak? I think it's
a lot.
Stunning.
Thank you very much. I feel like a woman should do... I'm 55, proudly, and I feel like a woman should do what makes her happy. I think men are able to age gracefully, and we are held to this thing that we have to abide to. And to be honest, I'm 55, I'm not 25, so why would I try to look 25? So I embraced the grey streak during lockdown, and it became a thing, so I'm sticking with it.
Did you have to think about it? Or did you have that opinion straight away as soon as you started to go grey?
I started to go grey at 19, and wasn't ready then. But when, you know, at this point... And
19?
19. I started very, very young. Both my parents were Snow White in their 20s.
Oh, really?
So
it's in the genes?
It is in the genetics. Yeah. But, you know, you should do what makes you happy. Nobody gets to judge what you do for you.
And the other thing is that your hair, of course, long and black at the back, like Cher's.
Yeah.
When I was interviewing Cher a couple of weeks ago, she said, don't do the short, middle-aged woman thing. Just as I'd done the short, middle-aged woman thing.
Snip,
but it looks good on you.
And thank you very much, but you're very much embracing the long hair as well.
I love hair. I love short hair, too. I think you should do what makes you happy. Again, it's independence. It doesn't matter, honestly. It truly does not matter what anybody else thinks about you.
You're from New York, or no, New Jersey. You're from New Jersey.
But, yeah.
Yeah, OK.
New Jersey.
I'm always fascinated by how people end up doing what they do. How did you get into drag? What happened? What was the journey?
I moved to New York City when I was 17 to go to university, and I stayed there. And being in New York, the nightlife was huge back then, and that's how I got involved in the drag world. It's going deep, but without making it too dramatic. I got involved in the Harlem ballroom houses, like if you watch the show Pose.
Yes.
I got involved through the ballroom scene, and through that was my entrance into the LGBT
And what
family.
attracted you to the whole drag world?
Love, acceptance, belonging. Family. I never felt like I belonged anywhere as much as I do within the gay community.
And why do you think that is?
I was always a freak and a misfit and never fit in and was a weirdo and a musical theater kid. No, this is the truth. I wasn't popular. I wasn't a cool kid. I liked to kind of be with everybody and do all sorts of colors and shapes and sizes, and that wasn't cool in high school.
So you're doing RuPaul's DragCon.
Yes.
It's at Excel. For people who have never been and wouldn't imagine ever going, what is it like? What is that sense of love, acceptance, embracing your inner lost soul like?
It's a great question, thank you. RuPaul's DragCon is magical because, yes, there's over 180 queens from around the world, but it's so much more than that. It is a place where everybody belongs. So if you always felt like, I don't know if I found my people, my friends, where I fit in, you walk into RuPaul's DragCon and it is literally like walking into Oz. It is magical.
It's a great analogy.
It's true. Everything is in Technicolor and everything is filled with love and acceptance, and you are welcome everywhere. And that's what it's about. You meet your favorite queens from around the world, pictures, shopping, music, dance, fun, meet and greets. It's so much fun.
You've explained what drew you into the world of drag. What do you think it is about it that it appeals to so many people who would never dream of getting dragged up, but they're really happy to sit and watch it on the screen?
This is a real question, I say with respect. Have you ever tried it?
No.
So drag does something to you.
Actually, yes. I dressed up as my wife once on Trading Places.
And how did you feel?
Well, I didn't feel I got in touch with some kind of inner femininity, but how can I answer that question?
Well, we liken it to a superhero. Like, it's like Clark Kent to Superman. So when you put on that cape, you become something magical. It doesn't necessarily mean you become a woman or feel feminine.
You put your finger on it. I felt my personality being slightly manipulated.
You shift.
Yeah, shift.
There's a
right,
shift. Yeah. And what it does is it gives you confidence. It gives you power. Whereas as yourself, day in and day out, maybe that power hasn't been tapped into yet, and drag brings that out in you. So you're in drag right now. You're both in drag. It's not necessarily that kind of drag. Doctors putting scrubs on with a stethoscope, whatever it is every day.
Yeah.
This is drag. I get up, I'm in, 2.5 hours of makeup and hair. That's drag. It's all what you make of it. It doesn't have to be a quote-unquote man turning into a quote-unquote woman. There's so much more between those lines of the binary that exist and that make you feel magical.
So RuPaul's DragCon UK is at XL, 13th, 14th of Jan, and of course Drag Race Series 16 well underway.
Yes.
And what's your favourite thing about drag, about when you see those who are competing? What is it that really makes you think, that's special?
So two different things, drag and seeing those kids, being a mother and seeing these kids realize their potential. Drag has often been things that, we didn't talk about. It was hush-hush for many years. Yeah. And with the help of RuPaul's Drag Race and other great developments in this modern world we live in, drag is now seen as a viable art form, which it has always been. I've always been drawn to it. So the magic of my job, and it doesn't go unappreciated or unnoticed at all, is I get to sit next to my best friend and watch the greatest show on earth every single day of my life. It's a gift. But to see these kids live their true potential is the best feeling in the world, to see it happen.
They've dug out a picture of me dressed as Judy, my wife.
Have they?
There we are.
Look at you! What do you mean you didn't tap into any feminine side?
And I didn't shave my legs either.
You don't need to.
Yeah, that was a day. That was a day.
It was gorgeous.
That was an unexpected moment.
Yes, it was.
Michelle Visage,
true
lovely
pleasure to
to
talk
see
to
you.
you.
Thank you so much. So nice to see you. Thank you so
you.
much for coming in.